Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. We are not live today, but we have a very special show for you because we are reviewing our preseason college football predictions, seeing how they turned out, seeing how our playoff predictions turned out. All right, there's going to be some right, there's going to be some wrong. We're very, very excited to do it with you and, obviously, talk a little bit of Lady Ballers. This is Crane & Company, and we're about to laugh at ourselves. Now, when you're predicting every single Power 5 conference outcome and predicting every single overall and conference record from said Power 5 teams in those Power 5 conferences, there's going to be some right, there's going to be some close, there's going to be some wrong, and there's going to be some damn. That wasn't even close. We're going to go through all of it today. My co-host, former Michigan quarterback David Cohn, former Western State Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crane. Interested to see this. I want to give credit to one of the most important Booster Club members there is.
Yes.
And that's Cody Nason.
Cody Nason.
The graphic king, or, depending on if you're in some parts of California, the king of getting graphics.
Yes. Only in certain parts, right? Of California.
Well, most of it, if we're going to be honest.
Just think about this. He made all of these graphics. He analyzed every pick we made and put it on a graphic and sent it to us.
True champion.
Like what we call a real one.
Yeah, Rule 19. Always believe, always prepare. Cody Nason's the best at the
legend. Like a true legend, for real.
So reading this, you don't have to be a Egyptologist.
I am, though.
To figure this out. David is, believe it or not. It's probably because he's been on this earth for about 700 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he built the pyramids.
I would not doubt it.
Yeah.
But as you can see, we have the 5 power conferences. We have that kind of overall chart, you know, the team that did the best with the predictions with all the Power 5 there. And then we have individually our predictions in the blue and the actual outcomes to the left of that in the white, and then you can see the plus-minus differential wins or losses next to that. So here's the easiest way to understand it. Green is good. Green is good. Red is not good. Red is not good. Fellas, there's a lot of green up there.
A lot of green.
I mean, if you look at it, I mean, just off the cuff, you know, I feel like we did pretty well. I want to start, obviously, though, David. Just overall, your thoughts on this season real quickly before we hop in the SEC.
Like most college football seasons, man, I just love it. I think it's terrific. I know there's a little bit of controversy this week with the college football playoff, which, like I said, let's hope in the long run that's a good thing because it means more parity around the sport, that we're talking about multiple teams that could even win a national championship. But I love this sport so much. All I wanted to do growing up was play college football. I didn't think I'd be going 1,000 miles away from home to do it at the University of Michigan, being from South Georgia. But hey, I love this sport. It was an awesome season. We got some right, we got some wrong. Predicting every single game, that's wild. But I don't think I got anything as wrong as I did last year with Kansas State, so I consider that a win.
For sure, getting better every year. Yeah, I agree with you. I just hope this is the new normal, right? I hope being able to talk about 6, 7, 8 teams down the stretch to actually have a chance to win this thing, especially as we move to a 12-team playoff. I hope that this year, like I said, was the new normal, not the exception, which we'll find out. I mean, you could have it next year where there's just 2 teams that could win it, and the next year after that, there's parity. Mm-hmm. I happen to believe that the expanded playoff will eventually lead to even more parity, but with all the changes, with the transfer portal, right, with NIL, with the controversy at the end, regardless of where you fall on it, you know where we fall on it, the on-the-field product is as good as it's ever been.
Yeah.
And if that stays the case, college football will always have a chance. I just hope that we can kind of fix a couple boo-boos, I guess, to say, as we move forward here. Blaine, just quickly, your overall thoughts on the 2023 season.
I mean, phenomenal season. That's always college football. It's always going to be phenomenal. If anything, I can point out our key out. So how well the Pac-12 played this year. I thought the Pac-12 really, even their last year, their last hurrah, really stepped up and had one of the best seasons from top to bottom I've seen in a Pac-12 conference. I mean, you look at what Oregon and Washington and everything did, but I mean, you go look at the Arizonas, go look at the lower schools that performed way above their shoulders. So what a great way to go out if you're the Pac-12.
And that was the only conference we didn't have any red in, I think.
Yep. Yeah,
Pac-12.
I know. It's and again,
I should.
In the greatest stroke of irony, in their last year of before the apocalypse of the Pac-12, they had the best year I can remember.
Yeah.
In that conference. But speaking about the best. All right, we know that starting a business can be tough, and you need help. You need the best help. You need the best people around you. All right, knowing how to run your online storefront, that's a huge deal. And at Shopify, it's easier than ever. All right, they are a global commerce platform that help you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders. Listen, I can say all these read you all these things in this ad, and it's fantastic stuff. They help, they boost you, they put you on the fast track. They take care of the stuff that if you're starting a podcast or a business or whatever, when you're sitting there scratching your head, wondering how the heck do I get through this? Who do I talk to? That's who Shopify is, from personal experience. All right, and the greatest sound, once you take this deal with Shopify, is this right here. Hit that button, David. Because you know you made another sale. That they provide so many opportunities. It is a fantastic service, and they are truly one of a kind. And you can sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Crane. That's all lowercase. Crane is spelled C-R-A-I-N. Go to shopify.com/Crane, C-R-A-I-N, right now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Great people, great service. That's shopify.com/Crane, all lowercase. Crane is spelled C-R-A-I-N. Fantastic product, and love working with them as well. So, all right, another fantastic product, the Southeastern Conference when it comes to college football. Dave, just overall, how did you do? And then give me your biggest surprise, and then give me your biggest disappointment.
Well, obviously, you can see there, I'm in the red in 2 categories, and that's Arkansas. I thought Arkansas would go 9-3 and 5-3 in the conference. Very disappointing year for Sam Pittman, especially when you return the quarterback with KJ Jefferson. You know, he's not going to be fired, though. They're going to retain Sam Pittman, bring back Bobby Petrino. So, hey, look, let's run the experiment out. Let's see if somehow we can turn the table. And then, obviously, Missouri. I mean, +5. I had them going 5-7. Missouri's a 10-win team. Eli Drinkowitz, fantastic job what he's done. And now you're going to get the Buckeyes in the bowl game. So he made a Connor Stallions joke this week at the press conference.
That's pretty good.
Playing the Buckeyes might not be as funny as he thinks it is, but congratulations to Missouri. Incredible season.
Without a doubt. I was in the red in 1. That was Arkansas, and that is also my biggest disappointment. I thought in a year where we had a ton of turnover at the quarterback position in the SEC, that bringing KJ Jefferson back, bringing Rocket back, I know they weren't going to be the greatest team up front, but they had some pieces. They lost a couple guys in the portal, but I thought Arkansas would use that experience, and I thought Sam Pittman, with the type of identity that he wants and the type of coach that he is, which is a guy that specializes in the trenches, Arkansas would be much better on the offensive line. I think that was their undoing. I'm surprised Pittman's coming back. The defense wasn't awful, but I had them going 9-3. They vastly underperformed. Outside of that, you know, I was pretty close. Ole Miss, to me, I had them going 7-5. I had a huge log jam in the SEC West. It ended up being a log jam, but Ole Miss was at the top and separated themselves, getting to that 10-win plateau, losing just on the road at Georgia and Alabama. Those are 2 pretty damn good losses, if there's such thing as a damn good loss. And Lane going against the narrative, and an even bigger surprise on top of a surprise year. Not that they did well, but that they did that well. Jackson Dart coming back for 2024, giving him his quarterback the way they've been able to reload in the portal. So biggest disappointment, obviously Arkansas, Ole Miss. I'd throw Missouri in there as well as 2 of my biggest surprises. I will say I'm pretty excited about getting that South Carolina 5-7 right. Pretty excited. Caught a lot of heat for that one. Bingo.
Yeah, I mean, your boy was pretty spot on.
A lot of green in there.
Yeah, Blaine,
no red.
You dialed it in. Wow.
No red on this one. Obviously, my biggest one was I did have Missouri going 7-5. I don't think a lot of people saw Missouri going 10-2 this year in conference. But hell, if there's ever a team I want to be wrong about, it's something about drinking the boys.
For sure.
That I am fine to be wrong about that. Hit Tennessee on 8-4. Caught a little flack for that. I thought Kentucky, even when they finished 7-5, I thought they'd have a little bit better of a season. I thought Devin Leary would show up a little bit more. And my biggest disappointment, to be honest, is even LSU at 9-3. You know, I had them going 11-1, 7-1 in conference. You know, if LSU had an even above average, a mediocre, a somewhat keep you in game type of defense, I feel like they'd win a couple of those games. You might sit out a little bit different record. But your boy was there for the SEC, and it's good not to see anything too red in there. I think that's a win.
Definitely. Well, again, tell us how you did. Give us your biggest surprise, right? Good and bad. Give us your biggest disappointment in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. All right, let's go to the next conference. What do we got next? All right, the Big 12. Damn, Dave. You were on that one like a fat kid in a lollipop factory.
Not a lot of green, but not a lot of red. No red, actually, either. Baylor. I mean,
sometimes
Baylor.
you got to be cool with shooting even.
So, hey, sometimes
Look,
you
I would
gotta
love
go,
to shoot even. Are you
Sometimes
kidding?
you just got to go shoot 2 over and walk
Yeah.
out with the 74.
That's
You know what I
exactly
mean?
right.
Which I've never done, unfortunately. Baylor 3-9 though. Missed on that one, man. I had them 7-5, and still I was scratching my head like, man, what if Baylor just freaks out again and Dave Aranda, wins the conference or something? But hey, from the very jump, you had Texas going unbeaten. Blaine, you had them right on the money at 11-1, and here they sit in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm just looking at mine, and I'm sitting here looking at Iowa State, and that one guy that pissed off Matt Campbell after the Ohio game cost me a red mark.
Everybody.
And look, the way it started out the year for Iowa State, it looked like I was right on point, right? Having them going 1-11. It was bad, but credit to Matt Campbell. I have called him overrated before. I think this was his best coaching job since he's been at Iowa State, even in the early years with what was going on with the gambling scandal. You lose your quarterback, you lose your running back, you got kind of a black cloud over the program, and it starts bad, and you're able to turn it around. Happy for him. You look at West Virginia, another guy, Neil Brown. Congrats, man.
Yeah.
A guy that was on the hot seat. I mean, his ass was literally boiling. It was so hot, the seat he was sitting on.
Furnace burns.
But yeah, furnace burns. He was able to turn it around. Now you got to feel really good about West Virginia in the future, too, with the Garrett Green kid at quarterback. But where I was right, Oklahoma, 10-2, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Houston, 4-8, nailed it. Cincinnati, 3-9, nailed it. Satterfield did Louisville the biggest favor ever by leaving and going to Cincinnati. All of a sudden, insert Brom at Louisville. They go 10-3, playing the conference championship. I know it didn't end the way they wanted to, but I would say my biggest disappointment was Texas Tech, who I had going 10-2. I'm a big Joey McGuire guy. Guns up. Love what he's doing out there in Lubbock. But really, after that Oregon game where they lost when they had that 8-point lead and ended up losing it at the end, it kind of went all downhill from there. I know they lost to Wyoming, but that was going to be kind of their get-back game. That one was my biggest disappointment. But surprise, I don't know how it's not Oklahoma State, right? At 9-3 after the way they started the year. But them and Iowa State, that's what I would say.
Both nailed Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma hit Texas right on the head, and both actually hit Houston. But, obviously the disappointments are West Virginia. I thought West Virginia came out from the beginning of the year, played phenomenal football.
Yeah.
It was a different type of football for West Virginia. So it was a physical, downhill, get after your ass a little bit team, and that's what Coach Brown, I think, really needed. Another letdown from Baylor and Dave Aranda. Another season of not measuring up where you're supposed to go. I had them going 8-4 this year, 6-3 in conference. You end up going 3-9 and 2-7, and another guy I'm surprised who ended up getting brought back, especially after the way that LSU defense played. I thought if he'd let go, we'd see Professor X over there walking that sideline again for LSU. But one thing I kind of enjoyed, I thought BYU, even in a 5-7, 2-7 year, played good. I thought
First year in the conference?
First year in the conference. I thought in the latter half of their schedule, they really started performing. But, Texas Tech, I had them going 8-4. I thought they played a little better. But Kansas State, especially with their quarterback who's solid, they have talent. Kansas State always know the identity of their football team.
He's gone now.
They end up 8-4 and 6-3. I had them going 10-2. So, some red in there, but also see some green. So, we're making mistakes.
Man? Kansas 8-4 with a backup quarterback for most of the season who really kind of became your starting quarterback.
I feel like Jason Bean's been like it's like they just Jalen Daniels plays until he gets hurt, and then Jason Bean.
He's played,
but they proved the season before wasn't a fluke.
Yeah,
big for Kansas.
Very big for Kansas. Continued success,
yes.
Believing you can continue to succeed. All right, speaking about continuing to succeed, if you want to succeed in life, you got to make sure your personal information in and out everywhere for people to grab. Okay, and in the internet age we live in, the social media age we live in, the data broker age we live in, it's everywhere. I Googled my name, was shocked to see how much of my personal info was out there. But with DeleteMe, they got you covered like a warm blanket in a snowstorm. All right, data brokers, hackers, anyone with an internet connection can find out your personal details, photos, and sensitive information, which some of you, that's all the same thing. It's time to take control and protect your personal info with DeleteMe. It's a hands-free subscription service that will remove your personal info that's being sold online. It's really easy. You submit the info you want to have removed, and they'll remove it. They'll search, find it, and remove it. And now you can get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Crane. All right, that's joindeleteme.com/CRAIN. And when you get there, you use our promo code, which is also Crane. Beautiful. It's CRAIN, not spelled like the bird. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Crane. Use that promo code Crane at checkout. It's joindeleteme.com/Crane and use promo code Crane at checkout. All right, let's go to the next one. We're doing our season prediction review. ACC.
Ooh, a lot of green in there, Crane.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is the one I probably buttered up the best.
Wow.
All right, this is probably the one I put in the oven, checked on it every 5 minutes, just looked at a beautiful, just golden crust to it when I took it out. Clemson, though, biggest disappointment. Had them going undefeated, all right, and then losing to Florida State in the ACC championship game. But they, for damn sure, didn't go undefeated. They went 8-4, was off on that one. But I absolutely surrounded everything else. Didn't have Louisville going 10-2, but outside of that, nailed Pitt, nailed Boston College, nailed Syracuse, nailed Virginia Tech. It's pretty much all over it on the other ones. I would say Pitt is probably a big disappointment surprise to other people. I had them going 3-9 and got absolutely creamed.
You did.
Cremated on social media. I didn't realize there were even that many Pitt fans out there. I literally opened my door one night and there was just a bunch of Pitt fans out in the front yard with pitchforks and torches and screaming my name. But guess what? That's why you watch Crane and Company to win the water cooler, where my facts don't care about your feelings. I care about facts. All right, so that Pitt, disappointed to other ones. Boston College, happy for Hafley getting back to a bowl game. That over 5.5 wins hit. Thank goodness. That was one of my best bets for the beginning of the year. I would say probably Miami going 7-5. I had him going 8-4. Tyler Van Dyke was just disappointing to me, right? I thought he was going to play better. But Georgia Tech, right? You got to give Georgia Tech some love here. Brent Key taking over the first time, and then obviously Florida State. You can call North Carolina disappointment, but was happy the way the predictions turned out in this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Blaine.
Clemson, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. We'll talk about a fall from grace. But, kind of brought up one that you caught hell for. There's one I caught hell for, and that was North Carolina. I had North Carolina go 7-5 and 4-4, and then right now they finished the season 8-4 and 4-4. Look, you have Drake May. You lost a lot, up front, a couple guys, and you lost Josh Downs, who right now is performing to the Colts at a high level. But caught a lot of hell for that. You still don't play defense, and that kind of showed throughout the year. And my other one, the bad one of this group, the Reds, Pitt. I was one of those people. Pitt, especially after the year they had before. One thing Pitt's known for, Pitt plays phenomenal defense.
Yeah.
Right, especially up front. There's always a couple of guys up front from Pittsburgh that will surprise you and end up playing on Sundays. But this year, with the transfer quarterback, they just didn't look the same. So I missed. They ended up going 3-9. I have them going 8-4. Other than that, not a lot of red out there, which I'm fine. Shout out Virginia Tech. I think they played kind of above their skis a little bit this year. I had them going 3-9 and 1-7 in conference. They ended up finishing 6-6 and 5-3, which is good for them. So not terrible. Dave, again, looks like you're no reds in there, just greens, baby.
I'm trying to shoot 72. Let's just shoot par. But obviously, most wrong statistically about Louisville. What a year, man. I mean,
a lot of people were.
A chance to win the conference, too. That's incredible. Even though it feels to me like I was most disappointed in North Carolina. Mac Brown, and you add Gene Chizik on the defensive side of the football, and then with Drake May, who was my preseason Heisman Trophy winner. It just didn't work out down the stretch. You're 8-4. And then Miami, I had them 8-4. They went 7-5. Almost nailed it, only one off, but it still feels like a disappointment for Mario in year 2, which honestly, if you take a knee against Georgia Tech, I'd have them at 8-4 and hit it around the money. But it still would be a disappointment because it felt like year 2 with Tyler Van Dyke return, if he can make that turn right. Everyone had him preseason.
The way they played against A&M.
The way, and you beat A&M early, I thought, man, this could be that sort of 9-10 win season for Miami. Maybe it's year 3, though.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we want to know what you thought. Who was the biggest surprise? Who was the biggest disappointment in the ACC and the Big 12, which we went over earlier? All right, that's 3. Let's get to number 4. Pac-12.
Pac-12.
I think I did better in the Pac-12 than I did the ACC. Damn, Dave, you don't have any red in yours again.
Love it, man. Let's
Goodness
steady
gracious.
Eddie. Let's hit
put
greens,
you under one of those casinos.
hit greens and regulations.
Whatever.
Hit fairways.
So had Oregon. Let's see. I had Oregon going 10-2. They went 11-1. I had Washington going 10-2. David, I know you had them making the playoff. That was a great call, buddy. I'm almost pissed at myself because the one I did the worst on, outside of Arizona, right? Which Arizona, I think that kind of shocked a lot of people, right? Was USC. And I picked them to go 10-2 because I thought Caleb, they were going to be so good offensively, they'd find a way to do it. But all I talked about was how I think they're overrated. And how, Lincoln Riley, it's the same team we saw at Oklahoma. Obviously, Alex Grinch, the DC, has been fired now. They go 7-5 with Caleb Williams. That would have shocked a lot of people. I want to give a shout out to Tim Brando, too, who's a guest on our show. He called this with USC. But outside of that, I hit Utah perfectly at 8-4. Hated Cam Rising, wasn't able to play. Was pretty close everywhere else. Did have Colorado going 2-10. They doubled what I thought. Stanford, I was about right. You look at Oregon State. I had them going 9-3. They went 8-4. Lose their head coach. Obviously, with what's going on in the Pac-12, there's a lot of uncertainty there. But not bad, man. I will take that all day. No red in there.
Yeah.
Couple greens. Everything else, we're hanging in there. It's a Counting Crows
I'm
song.
most proud of my Washington pick. I picked them to win the conference and make the college football playoff, and they did both. Shout out to that entire staff out there, all those players. It's incredible. It looked like I was going to be most wrong about Colorado with the way they started the season. Then you saw, hey, the back half of that schedule really catches up with you, but Blaine was still most right or was closest on the Colorado pick. Utah, we thought Cam Rising was going to play. He didn't, so that kind of skews that a little bit. So for me, big shout out to Arizona. 9-3 this year. Are you kidding me? But disappointing with Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams. You return the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, and Lincoln Riley's won, half a dozen seasons of double-digit win years. So very disappointing when you return a player of that caliber to go 7-5. But I still think Lincoln Riley is the type of guy, if he gets the right defensive coordinator in there, he's always going to be competitive on offense.
Yeah, I think this was more about the Pac-12 being deep than more about USC.
Yeah.
I think you go the year before that, USC could win those type of games. They're just out-athleting people. But now you see the depth that the Pac-12 has. Yeah. The Arizonas and the Washington States. And hell, Arizona State wasn't a walk in the park either with the 3-9 team. Even Cal came to Auburn the last possession and almost won that game, a good SEC team. But, obviously at the end of the day, it's USC took a hit, then Arizona took a hit. But, hey, Colorado, 4-8, 5-7. You go back, if they don't lose a 30-point game, they're up at halftime against Stanford. We're sitting at 5-7 right now. So I'll take that. True. I'll take that. That's a win for me, and I'm going to take that one home and put it on the fridge.
Definitely. Stanford saved a few wrinkles there for the second half. But if you want to get rid of wrinkles.
Oh, tell them.
You know what you need?
Tell them about the Gunline Boss.
You know what you need? Huh? You need Genucell. Okay, the Booster Club, they've sold them out multiple times. They're going to do it again. It's a skincare company for men and women. It's fantastic stuff. We use it. Our wives use it. Blaine's going to get married eventually, and I'm sure his wife will use it too. If you have troubling forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, and yes, even a sagging jawline, right? You can get that crimson chin fixed right up. They'll disappear right before your eyes with Genucell's most popular collection, and they promise immediate effects. You'll see results in less than 12 hours, guaranteed, or you get your money back. All right, that is a money-back guarantee. You're not going to need it because it's fantastic. Why do you think David is just glowing right now?
You are glowing, David.
He's just glowing right now.
You're shining.
So go to Genucell.com/booster. That's GENUCEL.com/booster. I think you know how to spell that. To get this incredible holiday discount. Every order today is instantly upgraded to free express shipping. Free express shipping. That's Genucell.com/booster. You got skin in the game. That is such a great slogan. They should use that.
They should. They are using it.
They are using it.
You say it every day.
Technically through me.
Yeah.
I'm like
You're the
what's
vehicle.
That? The vehicle. That's right. All right, let's get to our last conference prediction result. Woo!
Oh.
Good. Obviously the Big Ten East is the easiest one to predict ever, but good gosh, David.
Look at that. That's like eagle, and then I had a double bogey. Though.
God, Northwestern.
You went dumb.
Look
you
at
hit
the Big Ten.
four. You
I
had
should
five
know,
teams exactly right, conference and overall.
I should know the conference I played in, and boy, we got.
Well, buddy, you do.
Right. Look at that. Michigan,
Golly,
Ohio,
we should.
Penn State, Maryland, Indiana. I'd love to see.
Right on the button. All right, I'm gonna start. Wisconsin, biggest disappointment.
For real.
God, Luke. Tanner Mordecai coming in from SMU. By the way, shout out Rhett Lashley. Went 11-2. SMU, or SMU, as they're called by some people. But Wisconsin, man, I just whiffed. I just whiffed on that one. Being in the Big Ten West, right? Not very good. Thought they could, with the transfers, Braylon Allen coming back, had them going 11-1. Had them beating Ohio State. You guys looked at me and puked on my shirt. It's not good. And then Northwestern, look.
Everybody.
Y'all turned the lights off and started humping success.
Yeah, everybody.
I mean,
David Braun. I mean,
everybody.
Like, scream the name from the rooftops. Coach David Braun, the way he, and it wasn't just, oh, Pat Fitzgerald got fired before the season and you have to fill in. That team won one game last year.
Yeah, with the transfer
2011.
portal, with guys too hopping in the transfer
You
portal.
go 7-5. Like he was the Big Ten Coach of the Year, and I know there were some Michigan fans who reached out to me. And they're like, "Man, Jim Harbaugh back-to-back undefeated season."
Dude, I can understand
like
this, though.
7-5 from one-win season. That is
Watch who they're
incredible.
playing
You beat
with.
Wisconsin on the road by 14.
I mean, it's unbelievably impressive. I'll eat that one. Other than that, Minnesota was about right. Illinois regressed a little bit. You're going to when you lose all those NFL defensive players and your defensive coordinator. Purdue, don't. Had you going 8-4, Ryan. A little bit too much belief early. We'll see how it goes when you get your guys in there. And then the Big Ten East. Had Michigan winning it all. They're still in there. Had Ohio State. I will say I had them going 9-3. They escaped Notre Dame, buddy. Escaped with their life. And then I had them losing that game to Wisconsin. Penn State, 10-2. Easiest prediction ever. Easiest prediction ever was to pick Penn State to go 10-2. It's pretty close everywhere else. Rutgers, Greg Schiano. Got to give you some credit,
Good to
man.
see it.
If
Bowl
anybody
eligible.
can figure out Rutgers,
Yeah.
it's Greg Schiano, a.k.a. middle-sized budget movie villain.
Bowl eligible. I love to see it from Rutgers. Michigan State obviously hired Jonathan Smith from Oregon State, so they're going to get that program back right. Iowa was the weirdest one to me. I had Iowa going 9-3. They go 10-2, so I'm only one off, and they represent the West in the conference. But in a weird way, because I thought Cade McNamara coming over from Michigan, going to be their quarterback, along with the tight end they brought over as well, some of the new pieces on offense, that they were going to be better on that side of the ball. Cade McNamara got hurt. They were so inept on offense, but the defense was legendary. Not just like a strong Iowa defense, like a legitimate defense. Overperformed all year. They win 10 games and go to the conference championship.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's Kirk Ferentz. It's ugly. She's ugly, but she'll play. That's just the truth.
Well, obviously, the biggest part of this is Northwestern. Congrats to them, guys, especially all the stuff they went through out in the season to overcome that and actually have a winning season, 7-5 in the games they won. And it's my fault for believing in James Franklin to win a game he's not supposed to. That's on me. I don't know why I would ever think that they would be able to do that when they just click A and go to short pass, and let's just see how far we can get. Maryland is 7-5, hit that on the head. I think Maryland had a lot of chances to win big games, but kind of fell down through the stretch. And, you bring up Rutgers 6-6. Indiana has the chances to win some games, too.
Yeah,
I know he ended up getting fired, but I thought they played pretty well. But, it's the biggest letdown in this, and all of us, has got to be Wisconsin.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe in Luke Fickell, and I know it's his first year. I didn't believe they'd be 7-5.
Which they're going to play LSU now.
Yeah, I didn't believe you'd lose to Northwestern by 14 at home.
They're going to play LSU
gonna
in
play?
a bowl game. I don't know.
Who's all playing? LSU's got some
I don't know. It
some
almost doesn't
dudes
matter to me.
on that offense.
It almost doesn't matter because LSU has one of the best quarterback rooms in the country. You start talking about
you got
Nussmeier and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I look like Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. Like, are they going to play?
all
Spread
of
right
us-
now is 10.5 LSU.
Wow. Rutgers going to play Miami in a bowl game.
God, that could
Give me the under.
get ugly. Get really ugly.
Give me the under that.
Boy, Penn State, man.
Penn State, Ole Miss will be a cool one, though.
Nobody is benefiting more, I'll continue to say it, from going away from divisions and conferences, that Big Ten's included, than Penn State. It has to be. So they can't get by them. And that part kind of sucks because maybe you have a year where you're playing both of them and you do find a way to get in there, whatever, but they just could not win that Big Ten East, man. They couldn't do it, which is crazy because James Franklin got an infinity stone for winning 9 games 2 years in a row at Vanderbilt.
It's almost impossible.
Man, Northwestern is going to play Utah in the Las
That's
Vegas Bowl.
so crazy.
And they might
can't
win,
even
and they
comprehend.
have a good chance to win that football game.
I can't even comprehend that. That's insane.
Godly. It cost me a lot of money one weekend, then when they came back and I think it was beat Minnesota. Cost me a pretty penny. All right, so those are our predictions for the Power 5. Guys, when it came down to the college football playoff,
Don't show me.
when it came down to it, David, how'd you do?
I was 2-4. I got Michigan undefeated, and I got Washington undefeated, which I'm especially proud of that pick. I didn't see a lot of people picking Washington. I missed out on Georgia. Thought Georgia was going to make it back in there, even though we didn't really know with starting a new quarterback and having a new a new offensive coordinator. I mean, Mike Bobo has a permanent office in Athens. But, would there be any complacency for the Bulldogs, after back-to-back national championships? They go undefeated in the regular season. They lose by 3 in the conference championship game to Alabama. So I had Georgia in there. They don't quite make it. And then I had LSU. I thought LSU would represent the West and possibly beat Georgia in a SEC championship, but get 2 SEC teams in there. So obviously a disappointing year for LSU considering the type of football Jaden Daniels played down the stretch. As we sit here right now, probably going to be the Heisman Trophy winner. But 2 of 4 picks, I'll ride with that, and let's see if one of them can win the national championship.
All right, Blaine, how was your 4?
I got 2 out of 4 correct, which at the end of the day, to me, is a win.
Yeah.
I had Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2, Texas at 3, and Lincoln Riley and the failures in Southern California, USC at 4. After the absolute fall apart Post Malone style from them. But hey, I mean, I almost had 3 out of 4. Georgia would have won that game against Alabama. I'm sitting pretty. That's why they play it.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I had Michigan 1. I had Texas 2. I had both those teams going undefeated. Texas almost, thanks to Dylan Gabriel. I had LSU 3 and Georgia 4. I had LSU beating Georgia. I had both teams being undefeated in the regular season. Then LSU beating Georgia. I had LSU with 1 loss, but then beating Georgia in the SEC championship to get in as the 3 seed. Then Georgia would be the 4. So if Georgia would have won, I would have had 3 out of 4. But to get the 1 seed right, got Texas in there. Michigan's my national champion.
So did we all have Michigan as the 1 seed?
I had Michigan as the 2 seed.
Oh, okay.
That's right. He had Georgia as the 1.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm pretty proud that Michigan didn't let us all down.
No, I'm glad.
I'm pretty proud too.
I'm glad. We're gonna
not yet.
We're gonna have to
next
drown
challenge.
Yeah, not yet.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
If they didn't, we were probably gonna have to waterboard you for at least.
I knew that would be coming.
Hour and a half. Yeah.
So I talked to Coach Harbaugh.
Before Alabama
I said
fans
you get suspended for
before
half the
Alabama's
season.
fans come after me. I had y'all going 11-1. I want y'all to know that. So
yeah, you did.
That's not what I heard.
I don't want to hear anything.
Maybe you got to go back in the Crane archives.
What I have Alabama.
It's right there.
I had Alabama 10-2.
Disgusting.
I had the home loss to Arkansas.
What'd you have?
It's happened.
Yeah, the 9-3.
Dude, lose to Texas. Had them losing to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I mean,
4th and 31, Jake.
Yeah,
4th and 31.
Let's talk about it. Can't wait.
4th and 31. No, not even 4th and 31. Not 4th and goal from the 31. I mean, God.
There you have.
Why do we got to end on this? But we want to know how you did. Let us know. Hope you guys are having a fantastic week. We're going to be back live with you next week. Go check out Lady Ballers. 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Got an unbelievable amount of views. We are just absolutely overwhelmed with the response. Go check it out. And like I said, make sure you subscribe. Hope you have a great rest of the day. And like the chances of David being wrong at all about the Big Ten East from a prediction standpoint, we're going. Gone.